Hey guys, how's it going? It's 10:47 p.m. March 31st, 2016. I was gonna say 15. Jeez. Anyways, got a couple people on the server right now. Actually, you got Ben and Mike. I think Ben's relatively new, doing great. Mike is actually the latest admin of mine. He's only been a member since I think January, if I understand correctly. Had a feedback. I just tried doing this video a few minutes ago, and I had a feedback issue going on. So let me see here if I can find him. But I'll go with Rice here. Spawn transport to selected train. Okay, there he is. So yeah, Mike's heading over to Yermo Yard, and one thing you'll find is when I say what makes us different, some people might find this a little shocking, and I love this yard. I think this is a really nice looking yard. This is the RTS California Yermo yard, and this is how it normally looks. Now you might be thinking, what the heck? What kind of multiplayer server is this? This looks like when I first started, running before things were populated. You got this yard. Why aren't you using it? Well, here's the thing, and I don't know if this yard's being used on other servers or not. I'm going to differentiate myself and try to explain in this video why. Uh, and if you look at this chat conversation right now, uh, Ben's just inquiring or talking to Mike, one of our mins, and looking for some directions for switching or whatever. And we are available both in chat and especially through our forums. Chat's a good way of learning uh, from a mentor or about us, but we certainly encourage people to ask questions. Now, like I said, this is not what RTS is about, what you're seeing right here in Empty Yard. But the reason why I went to this one, just because Mike is headed that way, all we do here is basically bring some cars down. We spawn trains further up the line, anything coming out of Daggett, because this yard has no industries to support it. The only thing that this yard could potentially do is deal with transfers from this yard. And I'll take you to Barstow. This yard is 100% fully supported and is the epicenter of the California server. And it's not loading yet, but hey, it's getting there. Our receiving yard's not that full at the moment. It's getting there. We've had it up to, when we're really busy, this thing gets about 10 tracks full, and then we're always playing catch up. But there's the hump units, and then we got the bowl. We got an overflow there. We know about that. That's not an issue. It's part of the system. We're aware of it. We had somebody in the other day, though, and this is kind of why I'm posting this video. Somebody came in the other day, and perhaps they're used to other servers, perhaps they don't know what we're all about, and thought, oh, it'd be kind of cool to just take that hump engine and just go ahead and start humping cars. Well, the problem with that is when you do that and you look over at our matrix, it throws these numbers way the hell off. And we don't know what's what anymore. So we got comments all over the place. This is, like I said, this is our epicenter right here. I know others have, a lot of people started out running. I've been here since before day one with Run 8. I was a beta team member. I'm still under non-disclosure agreement. That don't mean nothing because I don't know anything that anybody else doesn't know other than obviously the current beta team, which I'm sure they know a lot what's going on. I'd love to know what they know. Um, oh, Ben's gone. I was going to go see what he was doing. He might have just disconnected accidentally, or maybe he's gone. I'm not too sure. But anyways, um, yeah, he must have dropped out for whatever reason. Sometimes you get disconnects on here. Sometimes we need to reboot the server, but yeah, we got way too many engines in here that'll need a light power move. But other than that, everything that we do, um, And I'll take you to another yard. And this is something that I used to see when I in the beginning days of, just for those that haven't been around. Back in when they used to run very popular sessions when we had a lot of people, when Run 8 was really, really hot when it first came out. And personally, I still think Run 8, this is the best version of Run 8 we've seen. It always gets better. But as far as the popularity, I don't know if it's still there or what. Some people claim, quote unquote, the community's been killed and la 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 la, bull crap. But anyways, you know, community's doing just fine. There is a community that's out there that I hear that's doing pretty good for the what I would say the average user, or the casual user who doesn't care about car forwarding or anything. But as you can see right here, we have an inbound, and I believe in, I don't know what the heck we got. Let me turn on the car tag so we know. Oh, okay, we got the Fresno inbound, and then we've got the inbound of the Edison local. This yard is underutilized. I don't think it's at full capacity, and I don't think it has been for a long time. There's probably a lot more storage that goes on here, and it used to probably be much busier. Um, but when I first started out, yards like this were staging yards, and all they were doing was you would set up 5 or 10 trains in this yard. They would be built, and then you would go over to Barstow and set up 5 or 10 trains, and then you would run them all in a nice parade, and everybody would meet somewhere around this area. If you're lucky, you got a few meets, but a lot of people met in this area. Um, that's kind of like what Needles is like. You know, you run and you meet. Running meets are cool, but Needles is the reason why Needles is double track is because there's a lot more traffic, and there's meets on Needles when we're at 100% capacity. We're not quite there yet. So what this all has to do with is why we're different now. They don't. I don't think people run sessions like that anymore. At least, God, I hope not. That's crazy. But we've always had a car forwarding software called RTS that basically surrounds our server. You see, we've got Amtrak service now. Since they had the extension, we started building Amtrak trains. So we got 714 that comes in, and then we got train number 703 that's heading out. So that's all set up. And then you come over here to UP Bakersfield, and you've got an inbound train from West Colton, and then we got not too busy right there. This is mainly leased by SJBR, so they got a lot of stuff that's going on in there for sure. Parts tags here are all set up for the UP Edison whenever that gets ready. So again, we're emphasizing operations. Now that doesn't mean we don't run A to B trains. We most certainly do, and I can show you some examples of them. The grain train here, Lubstow, that has no interaction with the system, but we run it. That one goes to San Bernardino. We got this one here. This is just an intermodal train. We have some of these trains that have no interaction. So we do yeah, we do A to B running. Okay, we definitely uh, do that. But that's not the whole emphasis of what we do. Yeah, A and B running's great, and it's part, and it gives traffic flow. It gives some things. When we go into different various trains, you'll see. Let me see, Cajon sub here. We got all kinds of information. It's overloading. It's overwhelming for people, but we're here to help. But you got to post the questions and ask, and you got to do the learning, and you have to go through it. See all these trains that are canceled? This is what happens. Basically what happens, we have essential and non-essential trains. We emphasize the trains that actually have some type of, now this is a non-essential train, it'll cancel. We emphasize the trains that actually have some type of, like Cargill, the cargo switcher, that's all ready to be built. So we got all those things set up, and then we have other trains that are set up to run as well. But the whole emphasis is all about when this hump yard became active, this wasn't originally part of Barstow, but when it became active, it just it was one of the biggest things that happened for RTS because suddenly instead of we used to switch in the old yard. Okay, we used to switch all our trains manually. Some of you veterans of RTS will remember this. We used to switch all mainline trains in the old yard just like they did in the old days. And we did that oddly enough before the hump came in, just like the real prototype did as well. So it's a natural bull. Eventually, they had kicking and humping, and we take advantage of all of that. So any potential operation, we've taken advantage of. I'm not saying that others don't do it, but I think the misconception is a lot of people have found that activity has been off in perhaps other servers and quote unquote certain people saying things are dead. We're not dead, and we're far from dying, and we're going to keep on going. Florida's doing awesome. We slowed down a little bit from January, but we're doing just fine, and we're happy, and we can't wait for AI because then it'll be the next big step. It was just like what the hump did for RTS. What the hump did for RTS, well, what AI is going to do for RTS is going to be 10 times as greater. And we can't wait. That's like I said, I'm not worried about what other servers do. And this isn't about what other servers do. What I'm doing about this video is to educate others what we do. The bottom line is this. We've only had 13 trains. That's been a record that's been standing for only 2 years. I think at least two, maybe three. I don't know, 2 years. 13 trains is the most we've ever had online in California, even in an organized session. I know a lot of people can kick my butt at that. That's fine. Not worried about that. But here's something that nobody can beat, at least at this time, until we decide to give it up. And that ain't happening. RTS was the first server that came online for Run 8. RTS was the first 24/7 server that came online. And RTS is the longest running server out there. And I don't care what people say, if what's dead or not, our loyal users are still here. We have new users, we have new admins. We've lost some, we've gained some. We've had slow times, we've had fast times. Who cares? We're still having fun, we're still moving traffic, and the fact of the matter is this: I don't care what server you put out there. They may have a lot of numbers, and they may not like my attitude. I don't care. I really don't care. The bottom line is, I know this for a fact. I don't know that now. I shouldn't say I know it for a fact. I know it in my heart. We've moved more freight than anybody. More manifest freight than anybody. I don't care because they haven't been either long enough or they haven't emphasized on manifest freight enough. We do. And that's the difference between us. We emphasize on car movements. So if people are coming in and screwing up our system, we don't want you. We'd rather not have you. Go to the other servers. But if you're here for some operation, if you're here for some purpose, if you're here for some realism, and maybe you'll have to learn a thing or two. Hey, you had to do it when you had to start to Run 8, right? You come to the right place. Welcome aboard. Happy to meet you all. But please, all I can say is if you're coming aboard, please respect what we have, please respect what we built, and please respect what the work that people have put into this. Because this is only the beginning, and we got a long ways to go. Have a good one, guys.